Ethereal.com.
Peace, what up? This is Doc Blake with Ethereal TV, bringing you the 124th episode of The Last Piece to the Puzzle. The motto for me is silver, gold, and cryptos equals freedom, because they are decentralized assets, and they're going to play an important part in the immediate, the short term, and the long-term future. And as of right now, we're kind of looking at the long-term future. At least it feels that way. But I have some information that might make you change your mind a little bit and see some short-term things playing out for the cryptocurrency space. But it has to go into some political stuff, some conspiracy stuff, or at least what they would call conspiracy. It's funny, most things that are considered to be conspiracy end up being true. But also remember, we're talking about financial freedom, financial decentralization. When I'm talking about the motto, you can only achieve freedom spiritually through your soul and things like that. I truly believe that. But let me see. Let's do some ethereal house clearing. Use the information below if you're interested in getting any t-shirt work done or just any business promotion. We do event hosting where we will organize an event for you, or we also will organize our own events. We have DJ equipment, lights, everything you need to have a successful event, microphones, all that. So let us know. Use the information below to contact us with that. Also, check out the website. I did make some upgrades, kind of focused on the printing side of the business right now. So if you're interested in any of that, like I said, just use the information below. And hey, let's check out the cover art today. A lot going on, some hidden embedded stuff, and we're really going to go down a rabbit hole today that I've been down. I need to revisit. You see U.S. consumer prices, inflation, 1981 through 22. We're basically, breaking an all-time high, or at least a 20-year, 30-year, 40-year high, actually, in inflation. And it's at 9.1% as the last CPI report indicated. And then we have Biden with the red eye. I don't know if y'all seen his robotic, repeat the line thing. I don't know if it was a gimmick. I don't know if he is a real robot, but it has me laughing. And we have the word liars next to them because, Janet Yellen, Biden, Jerome Powell, they all were saying inflation was transitory. They're lying directly to your face at this point, and we're going to hear how Biden literally lied directly to the American people's faces on a little segment today. I mean, it's not Biden talking, but it's just his response to the CPI report. So we're going to look at that. We're going to go into CERN. If you haven't heard of CERN, you don't know what it is. Apparently, it's getting a lot of attention on TikTok. They're saying CERN opened a portal or something, or a gateway through the atmosphere or through the ozone layer with its reactivation on July 4th. How interesting. It was reactivated on July 4th. I find that very interesting as well. And then we have a symbol or a picture that I use in every video. And it's funny because I've gotten some questions about this picture that I've used before. Somebody was saying it looks like a subliminal message. It looks like, potentially evil or something like that. So I'm going to break that down. So if you were ever interested in this symbol that I use for a very split second in my intros and outros, we're going to talk about that symbol, where it came from, how I kind of, added a little bit to it, but it was presented to me by someone else. Very, very special elder of mine. So we're going to talk about that as well. We have a lot in this video. It might end up being a long video, but I really would like to talk about some very important things, where the future could potentially be headed, or not where I necessarily believe it's headed, but where they, and who are they, we're going to talk about that as well, they want it to go. So, hey, with that being said, let's get into the price action live refresh. Currently, we have Bitcoin at $20,723. Ethereum is at $1,209. Binance is at $236. Cardano is at 43 cents. Avalanche is at $19.19, a coin I don't usually talk about. Chainlink is at $6.16. Let's go to Decentraland is at 84 cents. Might get on Decentraland today, do some Meteor mining. Theta is at $1.15. And let me see, where is Helium? I can never find Helium. Like, as many times as I look at it on here, it's like the hardest coin for me to find. I don't know why. I can never find it. Did it drop out the top 100? Couldn't have. Oh, there it is. And Helium is at $8.78 at number 51 out of the top 100. And let's go to precious metals, which have been getting demolished, which just blows my mind. But it's rebounding a little bit today. Silver is at $18.90, and gold is at $1,713. Actually, this doesn't blow my mind. This is all big part of the plan of, for them to gain as many real assets as they can possibly gain, milk the people for everything that they have, and basically just make sure nobody has anything or owns anything. But let's go into the charts of Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin on the daily. It's funny because I looked at this chart before I made the video, and everything, like, it has played out perfectly as I drew it. Pretty good lines, I must say. So first, let's zoom out a little bit. First, we have this descending wedge, kind of looks like. This brighter pink line and the darker pink line represent the descending wedge that we've been in. We broke out of it down here. And then you see this little symmetrical triangle forming, this yellow symmetrical triangle forming, that we actually broke out of to the upside, came all the way up to 22,500 and came all the way back down for a retest of the breakout. So that's actually very bullish in, general terms of breaking out a symmetrical triangle. And let's not forget, we have a triple bottom on Bitcoin right now. A triple bottom. So we've seen these patterns before. They tend to be bullish. So are we going to get this rebound rally potentially to 28, 30K? I could see that overnight easily. Everybody's talking about the recession. I don't believe anything they do or say. It's a good thing. It's also a bad thing for me because I just have no faith in the dollar, which I underestimate the Fed's ability at times, but I have no faith in them. I have no faith in what they do. I don't believe anything they do, and it's my top priority to decentralize myself from their system, and to believe that enough people will wake up, enough people will transact outside of their system. You remember this saying, absolute power corrupts absolutely. You cannot have one entity controlling the way that people transact. So that's very important. It's very important that we choose to opt out of their system. I know it's very difficult. I know crypto people have lost their way. We've gotten greedy. We forgot Satoshi's vision. Yes, all those things are very true, but we can get right back on track. We can get right back on track. So we've broken out of this symmetrical triangle, headed to the upside, came back for the retest, headed up to the upside. Look for some resistance at 22,100. But at this point, I really don't see anything stopping us from going back up to 22,000 at the very least. So I think it's just a matter of time, because this is all playing out right in the charts. So yeah, I look for a $22,000 Bitcoin probably within the next couple weeks, maybe the next couple days, as that could happen very easily. So yeah, keep paying attention. Keep dollar cost averaging. None of this is financial advice. It's what I'm doing as much as I possibly can. always try to create new ways of having cash flow, so you're able to buy these dips, and it's as simple as that. You know what I mean? So keep at it, keep chipping away. We know where it's headed. If you know, then you know. If you've got in at 3,000, 4,000, these prices are still amazing to you, especially within a 2-year time frame. So remember those things. Stay focused. Keep your eye on the prize. They can only manipulate things for so long and by so much until reality takes hold, because we are living in a fantasy world, a debt-based fantasy world, where most people are in debt up to their ear holes. And so is our nation. So if they do it, we might as well do it too. That's kind of how I look at it. But something's going to give eventually. What's going to happen on that day? We opt out. We choose to opt out of their system, and spread that word, spread that message, tell people to have things that they can opt out with, have things of value, find a way to produce food, find a way to produce goods. And that is the same way it's always been. You cannot create value out of thin air without consequences and repercussions. So it's only a matter of time till those consequences play out, which is a debt collapse. The debt collapse will happen first as the signal that the end is here of the financial system, and they're going to try to implement a new system. We're going to get into that as well with CBDC, central bank digital currencies. So let's move on to the next topic. Where should I start? All right, we'll start with inflation first. Let's listen to this clip by our good old President Joey Boy. Or it's not him talking, but listen to his response to a report that came out that same day.
Meanwhile, the latest inflation numbers show more pain for Americans. Surging prices for gas, food, and rent. Consumer prices soared 9.1% compared with a year earlier. President Biden released a statement saying, in part, while today's headline inflation reading is unacceptably high, it is also out of date. Energy alone comprised nearly half of the monthly increase in inflation. Today's data does not reflect the full impact of nearly 30 days of decreases in gas prices that have reduced the price at the pump by about 40 cents since mid-June.
All right. So Biden's response to the inflation report is that it's outdated. The report that came out that day, he says it's outdated. Gas has dropped 30 to 40%. So he's using one area. But if you look at food has not dropped. If you look at commodities in general, soap, deodorant, shampoo. So he's lying directly to your face. He's trying to, get your eye off the ball with saying gas prices have came down in the last 30 days. I think we can all agree with that. There is some truth to that. But you have to read between the lines there. Why is he only emphasizing that? Answer those questions. And not just that, it hasn't came down at all if you go back 3 months, if you go back 4 months, if you go back 5 months. He's talking about a 30-day time period, y'all. What does that mean? Like, that means absolutely nothing. We watched gas go from $2 to $5 in less than 9 months. So you're talking about a 30-cent decrease? That's just a pullback. Pulling back, preparing to skyrocket. Like all crypto people, all stock people have probably by this time learned how to chart a little bit. That's bullish. A pullback in prices are bullish. So prepare for hyperinflation. I see us traveling very fast into hyperinflation with a debt collapse. So let me see what else I have next on the list. All right. Oh, and on the cover art, we have the fact that inflation is at 9.1%. So, yeah. But this is all by design, and this is what we're about to get into. So we're about to go on a tangent, down a rabbit hole. The next article is from The Guardian. It says, Google engineer put on leave after saying an AI chat box has become sentient. like meaning conscious. The suspension of a Google engineer who claimed a computer chatbot he was working on had become sentient and was thinking and reasoning like a human being has put new scrutiny on the capacity of and secrecy surrounding the world of artificial intelligence. The technology giant placed Black Lemoine on leave last week after he published transcripts of conversations between himself, a Google collaborator, and the company's LaMDA language model for dialogue applications chatbot development system. So we're not going to go too far down into that. You get the point. A guy that works for Google that is into artificial intelligence is saying that he's convinced that the algorithm space system that he's talking to has developed its own consciousness. So listen to the rhetoric there. They're basically saying they have achieved artificial intelligence without telling you they have achieved it. So next article, and you're going to see how all these things are tied together. The machine behind the God particle is on the hunt for dark matter, and they're talking about CERN, the Large Hadron Particle Collider. Let's see. 10 years ago, a team operating the world's largest particle collider made history by discovering the Higgs boson particle, a finding key to understanding the creation of the universe, earning its nickname the God particle. All right, that's where I want you to pay attention to, the God particle. So first off, if you don't know, CERN is connected to the internet. Actually, it's very interesting. The same people that created the internet are creating CERN. Go look this up. Go look this up yourself. So the cloud networks that are used to basically connect the internet, right? The Ethernet was created by the same people who were working on the CERN project, right? So basically they're looking for this God particle so that they can tie this in to their artificial intelligence, right? They want a sentient system. Kind of sounds like the Terminator, right? Where the system becomes alive and awake and is operating on its own. So all these things are basically a governance form of humanity, right? They want humanity to take their instructions of how to live, how to exist from a computer, right? From a computer. They're using things like the CERN. They're using things like Google's artificial intelligence, Apple's Siri, to collect all your data, all your information, so that they can recreate you, which is the scary part. This is why they want all your information. This is what Edward Snowden was talking about. They literally want to be able to recreate you, so they can appear potentially as you on a digital network. Not just you, they can even create their own beings, their own sentient beings, to act as a real individual. So very, 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 very deep stuff. And a lot of us knew that this is where this is going. I have a video called the 2030 Agenda. Actually, it's a 2-part series that I did a couple years ago on my channel. Go check those out, where I'm talking about the same things, the 2030 Agenda. I've known about this for a very long time. I've known about what they're up to with CERN. People think they're trying to open a vortex to another world. Yeah, they are, but that world is a digital world. See, what I've come to learn is the spiritual realm and the digital realm aren't too far apart. They're actually very, very similar. I would only say that they're divided by one thing. The real digital realm, or the spiritual realm, is controlled by the forces of the universe, by God, as people would call it. Their realm is created by man and man-based algorithms that they've combined, algorithms that they believe have achieved the God particle, meaning the God consciousness. Do you see where they're going with this? Now, this next part of my video should really blow your mind, because this is the proof that this is what they want. Now, this was decoded by an elder of mine named El Raushil Anu. So before I pull it up, I would like to give him all the credit for this, for decoding this magnificent symbolism that I use in my every video that I've made on my YouTube channel. I've used this symbol, and I haven't really talked about it much. I really made it a crypto-based channel, but you know, I've strayed a little bit and got greedy myself with crypto, and kind of like left out the conspiracy side, because YouTube is not conspiracy friendly, as we all know. But I really don't care anymore. I've never really cared, and I feel like it's important for people to know this information if you're interested in knowing where they and who are they are the central banks, the George Soros of the world, the Bill Gates of the world. I also believe the Elon Musk of the world. You're the world leaders. Isn't it funny how Elon's coming out saying, you know, basically he's like giving his opinion on who should be the president almost. He's like, Trump should not run again. Nobody would vote for Biden again. You know, Elon's a very, very sneaky individual, in my opinion. Very smart, very intelligent, very sneaky. So I think if Elon ran for president, he would win by a landslide. I mean, just how people think. They think Elon is some god figure in the world today. You know, I think he's on a mission of Genghis Khan himself, of repopulating the world. He's got like 8-9 kids or something crazy like that already. So, you know, does Elon want a whole bunch of Elons running around? Probably so. He wants people to do his bidding. I don't trust none of them. I don't think there's a billion out there that I do trust. Although, I do believe there are some very, very benevolent billionaires out there. So, and this plays a key role in today, but they are the controllers of the world. They're not hard to see. They're the big corporations. They're the governments, and unfortunately, they're the higher ups in the military. There's a lot of good people in the military, a lot of loving people, a lot of people who really feel like they're doing the right things. But a lot of them are being controlled by malevolent forces in the military, and those are a lot of your generals, a lot of your higher ups in the military. The military is on a need-to-know basis. We all know this. My father was in World War II. I have cousins that were in Afghanistan. They keep you on a need-to-know basis, as in your army generals, your sergeants. You know what I mean? And a lot of people suffer big things after leaving the military. You know, let's just leave it at that. So, and I believe it's because of lack of information, lack of people knowing why they're doing things, right? So, yeah. Anyway, so let's continue on down this rabbit hole with what I wanted to pull up next. All right. You see, I just wanted to show you, I'm simply typing in Chicago Bulls logo. I'm going to copy this, retype it for you, or paste it. This is no photo editing. I think I downloaded one like this one. Yeah, I downloaded that one, and I'm going to show you something very interesting and see if you're able to see it. So this is the Chicago Bulls logo, and as I zoom in, right, like I'm zooming in, it still looks like just a bull, right? Now watch as I start to turn it, crop it, or not crop it, just turn it and then zoom in again. Do you see a robot? These are the eyes reading a book on an altar. Let me know if you're able to see that. The ears are the altar. These are the pages. You see the lines in the forehead. The horns are the legs for the altar, and the robot actually has a very, very stern demeanor, right? Like almost like evil demeanor. So take everything that I previously said and said they want artificial intelligence to rule the world. Right now, this is the largest conspiracy probably known to man. And like I said, this was not my own discovery, and I'm okay with saying that. It was passed on to me by a very important elder in my life, and it was just a gigantic piece of the puzzle of information of where they who believe we should be ruled by artificial intelligence, who believe their algorithms are God, right? They are looking for the God particle. They have discovered the God particle. Think about how absurd that is. They have created something that has discovered God. Hilarious, right? So anyway, you have this, when you flip the Chicago Bulls symbol upside down, you have this very, very, very stern demeanor looking robot reading from a book. Is it possibly that this book is the Bible or their Bible? Is it giving instructions to humanity on how to live? Now let's think about the role that the Chicago Bulls have played throughout the sports world at the very least. You have the GOAT, interesting animal. If you know anything about the GOAT, if you know anything about Pan God, if you know anything about the 5-pointed star, then you understand the GOAT. And that's a whole nother wavelength that I might go down on another video about the GOAT, because Michael Jordan was the GOAT, right? So it's very, very interesting to see what you get when you actually flip and look at the Chicago Bulls logo upside down. So let me know if you're able to see the robot reading from an altar, a book on an altar. I'm really interested in if anybody can see that. Just get back to me on that if you're able to see these two circles as the eyes. This is his chest. This arch is his chest. These are its arms. Do you think that's on accident? Do you think that is an accident? Please let me know if you think that's an accident, if you're able to see it. So, and here is my final grand finale part of the video, which we're going to do right here, right now. I want you to open up a tab on your computer, open up a tab and type in www.bull.com and see what comes up. All right, www.bull.com. You see me do it right here. It says Atos.net. Atos. What is Atos? Have you ever heard of Atos? I haven't, besides a few like years back when I did this and learned about what was going on. But let's go to About Us. It's a company, right? But just think, I typed in www.bull.com. So and About Us, let's see, I'm trying to get to company profile. Let's bam, clicked on company profile. Let's see what it says. Let's see. Atos is the global leader in secure and decarbonized digital, with a range of market-leading digital solutions along with consultancy services, digital security, decarbonization offerings, and end-to-end partnership approach. Let's keep going. What we do: a leader in cloud and digital workplace. Do you remember the first thing I said was cloud? Or not one of the first things, but I had said, you know, the cloud network. So they are a leader in cloud and digital workplace. Atos is also ranked #1 in managed security services worldwide by revenue. With these capabilities plus best-in-class computing power and the pioneering quantum learning machine, Atos is helping to design the future of the information space. So you have advanced computing, quantum computing, analytics, AI as in artificial intelligence, automation and robotics, connected intelligence. Oh, you remember the cloud? Connected, yo, think about that term, connected intelligence, right? Atos One Cloud. So you see where I'm getting with this. And it's funny, this website changed. I believe it used to have what Bull stood for. I gotta try to find that once again. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna make this a 2-video series, because I'm not going to get into everything that I want to today. I want to kind of help you understand the next leg down in the rabbit hole, which is first we started with the bull. And you all remember in the good old book, the Bible, what what the bull was, the golden bull, right? The golden calf. What were people doing? Worshipping false idols. I think it was Moses that got angry and killed them all for, you know, worshiping this false idol, this gold, this bull. So it's funny that their system is called bull, which changed now. It was too out in the obvious. I exposed this many years ago before I was on YouTube. On Facebook, I was exposing these interesting findings that I came across in my daily, people would call conspiracy research. But can you make this stuff up? I don't believe you can. I couldn't. It's right in front of your faces. So this is probably the end of the video today. I'm going to leave you with www.bull.com. Start there. See if you're able to see the robot in the Chicago Bull symbol when you flip it upside down. Very interesting occurrence. Try to look up CERN's connection with the World Wide Web, the cloud network, right? Like I said, from my understanding, there's only one thing that divides the digital world from the spiritual world. And like I said, the spiritual world is controlled by God's, the real God, the universe. The universe's cloud network. The digital world is a recreation of man's form of God particle, with artificial intelligence being that God, and they want to discover the God particle so they can implement that particle into artificial intelligence. You see what I'm saying? They want to put the Higgs boson into the computer. Have they already done that? Why was CERN reactivated on July 4th? Right, not too long after the Google employees said that they basically have the algorithms prepared to potentially harness this particle. The algorithms have become sentient. What's next? Are they going to merge these algorithms with the Higgs boson particle? Some things to really think about. I know I'm on like a super conspiracy things today. Oh, and the last part of the video, I wanted to tie in Bitcoin to all of this. Bitcoin is the opt-out of their control. Their CBDC, central bank digital currency, is going to be another tool of information where they're absorbing you. They're absorbing your purchases. They're absorbing the way you spend your money. A CBDC will be the most controlled form of transacting ever known to mankind. It's all traceable. Bitcoin is all traceable. But imagine when your name, your identity is tied to a digital currency that can be tracked by everything. They want the dollar in its current form to disappear. They want to control everything you do. They're going to use their CBDC and tie and feed it to their CERNs, to their artificial intelligence, to the machine beast, the Terminator machine that they're creating to rule us all, to rule over humanity. Like I said, they want artificial intelligence to rule over you, not God, not the universe, not the Force like Star Wars shows us. They want artificial intelligence. They believe in what they're doing. They believe artificial intelligence is the way. Let's remember, Bill Gates is using artificial intelligence to improve farming. Like, humans don't even know how to farm anymore. We need computers. We need artificial intelligence to tell us how to grow food. But isn't all Bill Gates' food GMO, genetically modified organisms? A lot today, a lot to digest. Bitcoin, gold, silver is the way to decentralize yourself from their system, to opt out of their system. So I hope I tied that together somewhat today. Look for part 2 of this. Maybe I might call this the 2030 Agenda Revisited, and do some research on the 2030 Agenda. It's not just me talking about it. Matter of fact, just go on YouTube, type in the 2030 Agenda, and see what you get at. This is your boy Doc Blink with Ethereal TV. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.